Here's my audience. Hi, my name is Mackenzie DeLong, and I will be giving my persuasive speech for Rick Thomas's Speech 101 class. Okay. Have you ever had that exciting feel where you go out and you get a new outfit and everything and you can't wait to wear it to school and show it off the next day? Well, now imagine it being ripped out of your hands basically because you're not allowed to wear it to school because your outfit for the rest of the week and the rest of the school year is already planned for you. School uniforms. These have been in debate for quite some time now, and basically all they're doing is covering bigger issues. The people that are for school uniforms have simple reasons. In 1996, President Bill Clinton started a school uniform movement. Clinton believed that having school uniforms would minimize crime and murder rates because then in areas where there is a lot of that kind of stuff, they wouldn't be killing for, a pair of shoes and a leather jacket and everything because they would have not as much of a diversity in clothing. For a short amount of time, President Clinton was right. Even attendance rates started going up. But unfortunately, it went back to normal after a while. Killing for clothing has nothing to do with jealousy or anything. It depends on the areas that student is being raised in. They were taught growing up that, you don't have a lot, but a lot of people go out and kill for this stuff. So, you probably could too. And because you don't see that in the other areas. It's just in those crime areas where they've grown up around that stuff where they think it's okay. Blaming diversity is an easy way out. Grade point averages in schools. Schools with uniforms and schools without uniforms have the same grade point average that they had before they switched over to uniforms or vice versa. Some negative effects with having school uniforms that students have said is depression, feeling original, feeling unattractive, and they feel like it's taking their self-worth away. After all, freedom of expression is in the First Amendment, and a lot of teenagers, along with adults, express themselves through clothing and everything. And so that's just taking opportunities away if you bring uniforms into schools. Some causes from feeling these ways, like depression and everything, could be acting out. This is Martin Wilde's theory. Students could start going out and getting piercings and tattoos and wearing the uniform wrong and just to rebel and everything. And so they could also have uncharacteristic hairstyles. And so while that could be also part of what the uniform isn't allowed, they could get in trouble with the authority figure in the school and then just cause more problems and everything. Okay. George Carlin once said, "If we allow schools to prescribe uniforms, then we can only expect rules on hairstyles, makeup, hygiene, and so on. I don't like the camel nose under the tent, so I'm against school uniforms." During my research, I have found a statisticbrain.org website, and basically it just gives you a lot of percentages and everything. 34% thought uniforms hindered self-expression. Now, later when I was reading, I found out that these statistics were between people who strongly agree and just plain out agree, and it was just between teachers and parents. So this has given nothing about the students' perspective on all this, and so basically this information is kind of useless because the teachers and the parents aren't wearing the uniforms, just the kids. So you really need the kids' perspectives on this. So the teachers and the parents can't know unless the kid has walked up and deliberately said, I feel this way about the uniforms. And most likely some kids probably don't because they, that's how it is. They're the kid. They don't have a say in everything. Another thing that could be an issue is finances. Again, the statisticsbrain.org gave me an annual amount for families for what school uniforms cost. And for families to buy school uniforms annually is $249. That's a lot of money. A lot of parents send their kids to public schools because it's cheaper and everything. Then, they don't have to pay for their kid to get an education, like people that send their kids to private schools and everything. So while they still have to pay for the uniform, they also have to buy play clothes, which they wear like on the weekends and outside of school and everything. And so a lot of people that, you know, don't have the money to really send their kids off to private school, which where you would have to wear a uniform, you can't find school uniforms in thrift shops or secondhand stores and everything, which is where some people shop. And so along with that $249 that you're paying for a uniform that is mandatory in a public school now, you also have to pay for the play clothes that they wear outside, and you have to pay for food and a house and everything, and it just gives a $249 more bill that some people might not be able to pay. Okay. You might be asking now, what are other students' thoughts? And again, they feel embarrassed when they're wearing uniforms. They feel depressed. Jessica Cook once said, if you ask a teenager how their life would be if they had to wear school uniforms, they would tell you a million reasons why it would ruin their life. And so just know school uniforms are a bad thing for students, and you should not make them wear them, because after all, they're still going to have diversity in their schools, because people are still going to know who their friend groups are. So thank you for listening. Bye.